It's time to give you everything you need to know about the Cleveland Browns' upcoming Week 4 matchup against the Detroit Lions, folks. Welcome in to the Browns Report. I am your host, Joey O'Donohue. We've got lots of stats, numbers, things to think about for the Browns-Lions game after they just beat another NFC North opponent in the Green Bay Packers. We're still hyped up, fired up, and excited about that. First off, it is worth noting that the Detroit Lions are on a short week right now. They just played Monday Night Football, and they traveled to Baltimore to do so. So maybe there's a little bit of travel fatigue. There's an less week of practice for them. Just something to point out. We take every single edge that we can get as a Cleveland Browns football team. We certainly got a lot against the Packers. Man, that fourth quarter comeback, miraculous victory had us going crazy on the watch party. We're going to be live for this one as well. But do not jinx this one. If you want to beat the Lions as well, just like we beat the Packers, like the video. Do so right now. Do not jinx it, folks. This worked last week. We got more likes, and we beat the Packers. It was unthinkable. Nobody thought we could do it. Nobody thinks we can do it again. So like the video right now. You don't want to be the person that didn't like the video, and then we lose. It's like, oh, I should have liked the video. Don't jinx it. Just like the video to be safe. We did it last week. But thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Let's go and beat Detroit. We're traveling to do so this time. The one edge that Cleveland has for sure over every single team in the NFL is we have the best defensive player in the league, the best NFL player in the league, maybe. The PFF graph has expanded because Myles Garrett is better and better and better every week. You see in the very top right, that little Browns logo with the name Myles Garrett? Yeah, he is just miles ahead of every single edge rusher in the league. So at the bottom is percentage where teams double team Myles. He's the most double team player in the league. And then on the left side, the y-axis, is your success on one-on-one battles. It's not close. No one is in his stratosphere. Like, it's not a debate anymore. Steelers fans used to try and clap back at you and say, oh, TJ Watt. I haven't heard a peep from them this year. I don't even think Watt has a sack yet through 3 weeks. It's not close. Myles is the best defensive player in the league. He might be the best player in all of football. With his athleticism, he's a freak of nature. He's strong. He's fast. He's explosive. He's got a swim move, a Euro step move. You name it, he can do it, and no offensive lineman can stop it. Also, pass rush win rate percentage in the NFL. Myles Garrett is second in the league, only behind Will Anderson, and he's ahead of Micah Parsons. This is keeping in mind that he's the most double-teamed player in football, and we literally saw the Packers try to triple-team him in Week 3. It didn't work. Nothing's going to work. We are watching historic greatness with number 95 in Cleveland. In the league right now, he has 4 sacks. That's tied for second for Big 95. Again, this is all keeping in mind how often he's double-teamed. Every single play, someone at least chips him. If not, there's a full double. He leads the NFL in tackles for losses with 7. It's remarkable. And then, something to look out for in Week 4, Myles Garrett currently sits at 106.5 career sacks. He's 2 sacks away from passing Reggie White for the most sacks of all time before turning 30 years old. Myles' birthday is later in December. He is going to hit that feat, folks, and we'll be live for it. You guys may remember Joe Thomas, one of our favorite players of all time, one of my favorite at least, probably the best tackle of that era. Well, he had a quote on Myles Garrett recently. Joe Thomas said, Myles Garrett is the most impactful non-quarterback in the history of football. I just want everyone to understand it's not an exaggeration when we talk about how good Garrett is. Like, we're watching more than a generational player. We're watching greatness. And he's a Cleveland Brown his whole life. How about that, folks? We're lucky to have him. And let me know if you agree with Joe Thomas, honestly. I think that's absolutely, he has an argument for so. The Browns defense as a whole, too, has been phenomenal. Detroit's going to have problems against this. Cleveland ranks first in total defense out of every team in the NFL. They have the fewest yards allowed per game so far through 3 weeks, 204.3 yards is the current total. The Browns are also third in the NFL in sacks as a team. They have 11 sacks, and they're ranked first in tackles for losses. The D-line is special, folks. Finally, Cleveland has the number 1 rush defense in the National Football League. 57.3 yards per game. That is the fewest out of any defense. It's special, and even Packers head coach Matt LaFleur was not expecting just how special it was. He said, I knew that D-line was pretty good. Probably underestimated them to some level, though. The other guys, yeah. First of all, a head coach saying that he just didn't prepare and didn't know how good a defense was. That's embarrassing. That's why you put up 10 points, Matt LaFleur. But just how good Cleveland defense is even shocking NFL head coaches, folks. It's one of the best in all of football. The Lions are going to have their hands full. Rate the Browns defense in the comment section. So far, with what you've seen, scale it. On a scale of 1 to 10, in the comment section, type a number to rate the Browns D. It's been phenomenal to watch. I'm literally giving it a 9 out of 10. It's looked like the best in football. So once again, previewing Detroit Lions versus Cleveland Browns football. The defense is going to give Cleveland a chance. It did it in week 1. It did it for a little bit in week 2. And it literally carried us in week 3 with some luck as well towards the end. So I'm predicting that once again, Cleveland's going to be in this game in the first half. The defense is going to be energized, playing the way that they've been playing. It's going to shock Goff and Detroit. So the key is our offense putting up points. And the difference this time is the Lions' offense might be unlike any we've seen so far. They are legit. They have a case for the best offense in the league, just like Cleveland has a case for the best defense in the league. What a matchup that is going to be, folks. It's going to be a fun week 4. Tune in to the Browns Report live. I think, realistically, and this might be ideal, is if Cleveland can hold them to 20. Can you keep Detroit in the 20-point range? Because they just hung nearly 40 on Baltimore. So I think it's asking a lot to hold them to 10 like we did Green Bay. But if you can keep them in that 20 range, maybe slightly below, maybe slightly above, that should be a win. And your offense needs to be able to do enough to win when your defense holds the Lions' offense to 20. Running backs versus Cleveland have not had any success. Chase Brown, 21 carries. Well, he only took those for 43 yards. That's 2.0 average. Derrick Henry, one of the best backs in the league, who's got a fumbling issue now, 11 carries, 23 yards. He only averaged 2.1 per carry. Josh Jacobs, same deal. Different back, same story. 1.9 yards per carry against the Cleveland Browns. Only Chase Brown had a touchdown. The other two couldn't find the end zone either. Cleveland is stuffing the run. Star running backs, these are, by the way. These are players people are evaluating high, drafting high in fantasy football, doing nothing against the Browns. So I'm going to tell you, do not expect the Lions running backs to produce. If you have them in fantasy football, tough loss for you this week. They're not going to do anything against Cleveland's run defense, just like every other running back in the league has not. Rushing-wise, at least. I could see Gibbs getting some catches and getting some receiving yards, but just straight runs up the middle, the way that they destroyed and gashed Baltimore's defense running, that's not going to be the case against the Cleveland Browns. The Lions are not going to win this game with their running backs like they've won a lot of other games in the past. It's going to be the passing game that needs to take off for them. Before we give you some more insight and analysis on this preview, let's get a word from our friends over at PrizePicks. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. And honestly, I'm just so hyped that Cleveland Browns football is back on Sundays and that they're coming off a Week 3 win against Green Bay. Everything feels right with the world, and I'm big into daily fantasy with PrizePicks. I'm obsessed with it because it makes all the games more entertaining. And before the Browns play, I lock in on all my players in my lineup and their player projections. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in, and PrizePicks have invented the flex play, which means you could still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. I'm hoping all my picks hit this week. I've got more than half a passing touchdown on Sam Darnold. I've got more than half a passing touchdown for Aaron Rodgers. Then PrizePicks giving us an awesome deal where I can get Jalen Hurts more than half a passing yard. And finally, I've got to put a Cleveland Browns player in there. Give me Quinshon Judkins more than 58.5 rushing yards. He's done that through 2 weeks. Let's see him do it again. If you want to try to make some money just like I am, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. So we've talked about how great the Cleveland Browns defense is. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, is the offense in the passing game. Here's some of the Browns' passing stats through 3 weeks. So interestingly enough, their pass play percentage is 67.5%. That's first in the NFL. So they call more passing plays than any other team in the league. However, it's not working out. Yards per pass is only 5 yards. That's dead last in the league. They're tied for second in interceptions. Flacco's thrown 4 already. And then they're 24th in completion percentage towards the bottom half of the league once again. So they call a lot of pass plays. They just suck at them. And the offensive line has been awful. It's not helping the case. That's the one you could give to Flacco, is that he doesn't have a lot of time to throw sometimes. And he's had receivers drop balls in week 1 and 2. He's also just lost a step. You see that by the numbers. But the O-line needs help. And remember, the Lions sacked Lamar Jackson 7 times. He might be one of the hardest quarterbacks to sack in the league. And they got home. Aiden Hutchinson is no joke as well. So that's an issue for Cleveland. Not just how good the Lions' offense is, but the fact that they can get pressure, and Cleveland's O-line is in jeopardy right now. So I don't think Flacco's going to have a lot of time to throw. And that is not a good recipe for success, folks. Because against the Ravens, why do you think things got terrible? Well, he was pressured a lot. He's overthrowing guys, and then when he hits guys in the numbers, they're dropping it. It's not looking good offensively as a whole for the Cleveland Browns. And if he doesn't have time to throw, it's not going to look pretty. Again, offensively, we're going to have another 13-10 win on our hands, folks. But the bright spot for Cleveland's offense comes with rookies. Harold Fannin Jr. is the reception leader for every single rookie in the NFL through 3 weeks. Can you believe that? He's at the top of the list with 15 receptions. That's ahead of Ted McMillan. That's ahead of Buccaneers star rookie wide receiver Emeka Egbuka. Travis Hunter as well, lower than Harold Fannin Jr. on the list. You notice who's number 5, though? Dillon Sampson. He had like 8 catches in week 1. We've got some rookies that can catch balls and do work in open space, folks. Get excited about that. Not only did Harold Fannin Jr. leading NFL rookies right now, but he led every single player in NCAA football in 2024, folks. He led the nation in catches. We knew we had a reception machine coming out of Bowling Green. Harold Fannin Jr. doing what we thought he would. Another rookie that has absolutely been showing out for Cleveland is Quinshon Judkins, folks. 2 games played in 2025, and he's already got 155 yards on the ground. He's averaging 5.5 yards per carry, folks. That's remarkable. Statistically, you should just be able to give it to him every single time, and we'd get a first down in 2 plays. He also had the Browns' only touchdown of the game against Green Bay. And some more insight on Quinshon Judkins. He leads all rookies running backs with 155 yards rushing. Again, that's in just 2 games, folks. There's rookies that have played 3, and he's ahead of all of them. He's got 58 yards after forcing missed tackles. That's second among all rookies. Finally, Quinshon Judkins, like I showed you, he's averaging 5.65 yards per carry. That is such an incredible mark. That's like what Nick Chubb was doing in his prime, folks. We might have drafted Nick Chubb 2.0, ladies and gentlemen. So get excited about the rookie Quinshon Judkins. And I want to know who you got. Give me your score prediction, exact score, in the comments right now for Browns versus Lions. I'm curious. Where are we at, ladies and gentlemen? Low scoring, high scoring, who's going to win? Comment it right now in the comment section, your score prediction for Browns versus Lions. Folks, thank you so much for being with me here today as we get ready for some more Cleveland Browns football on Sunday. Head on over to X at Joey070 if you want to talk more football. Plus, I post a lot of funny memes about our rival team. So if you want to see that, go over there, follow me on X, and subscribe. We appreciate you all tuning in as always, and we will see you this Sunday for our live watch party. Let's go beat those Lions.